Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Ja from the Same Difference podcast. I got a former shipmate. I guess shipmate is for life, isn't it? Got a shipmate backstage waiting to come on. His name is Keith Harris. We came up through the mud together as E Nothings back in the day. Way back in the day. I ain't gonna tell you how long it's been, but he made his way through. I got out quickly because I have an issue with authority, and I recognized that early enough to get out before they sent me to captain's mast. But he stayed in, flourishing career. We got some stuff we want to talk about, want to clear up. He also has a podcast called the One MC Podcast. I know you guys, most of you watching aren't sailors, probably never have been, never will be. But One MC is where the announcements come out while you're on the ship. And I'm gonna bring him on, but you know what we gotta do first, right after these messages. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Harris, sir. I
What's
got
up?
you, sir.
Man, what I already told you about that, man. We coming here first. You know what I'm saying? We're good. We're
You
good.
embarrassed now. All right.
Yeah. What's
Yo,
up? Yeah.
Harris. You know you go by last name. So Harris, what's
Oh
up?
yeah.
Why don't you tell the people who you are, introduce yourself, get them a little spiel, a little backstory.
Hey, what's good, everybody? I go by Keith, not Harris. I know Dougie got me with the last name tip since we served together. But yeah, I go by Keith, and been in the military 23 years, U.S. Navy. Currently a commissioned officer, looking forward to being on the same side of the fence with Dougie as a veteran here soon. So appreciate you having me, Doc.
Of course, you know it's all love over here, man. Like I said, we came up to the trenches. We may have had our disagreements and differences, but that
No,
happens
no,
when you
no.
ain't
Let's
got none in
no,
a
let's
while and y'all to see.
no, no. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's not
Oh
goddamn
boy.
sugarcoat it.
Oh
I
boy.
hated you. I hated this man. Look, I hated this man. Me and this dude used to get into it every fucking day. I wish we could have Graves on the show. You remember Graves? He
Duh.
used to instigate
Yeah, I
that shit.
remember him.
Like, go Doug, dog. What you, they go your arch
Oh, you see?
enemy.
You see the truth coming out now. That
No,
shit
that's
I
that.
did not know though.
No, no, no. Graves used to instigate that shit. He'd be like, "Hey, man, go your arch enemy, dog. What y'all gonna
Light
argue
skinned
about
niggas.
today?"
Can't trust some light skinned niggas, man.
Nah, man.
So
But that time out there, man, we was young, man. You know, we was just
of course.
we had two different opinions about everything. It seemed like we was always like the opposite opinionated person when it came to any type of conversation pieces. So it only makes sense that me and you both are doing the podcast thing now, right? It just
For
makes
sure.
sense.
It does. It does make sense. And a little thing that you don't know about me, I was less evolved than I am now. I was a little shit with anger issues. So that was another thing.
No, what? No, no.
Well,
Doug
not
anger
you.
issues? No.
You knew the viewers. I was talking to the
Oh
viewers.
man. Oh man.
But
You know who
yeah.
had a real
So
anger issue though? Fucking Daly.
who
You remember Daly?
man,
Oh
them
man, that
Tampa
dude had a
boys. Them
super
Tampa
anger
boys.
issue. Oh yeah, you know how we Tampa was crazy. But anyway, yeah.
So we
Yeah,
got
man.
some topics we want to touch on. Like I said, he has his own podcast, the One MC podcast. At later on in the show, I'll let him give you the socials and how to check into that and whatnot. But we got some
Yep.
topics we want to touch on. First, we want to talk about apparently on TikTok and online, people think that they're about to get drafted and get sent to Ukraine.
Yeah.
That is not what's happening. Can you tell them first where the confusion is coming from?
Yeah, a lot of people think that the selective service is what it's called, right? A lot of people think that they're automatically going to get drafted like it's wartime and get shipped off to fight somebody else's war. Well, that's just not really the case, right? It's something that's usually automated that happens that you get um, get put into the selective service when you turn 18. But for whatever reason, a lot of people are, skipping or ducking being put into that selective service. And if you are, you're probably not going to even know it. A lot of people are already in there right now and don't even know it. But that does not mean you're automatically going to get drafted and shipped off to war. So, people can stop worrying about that. In worst case scenario, they're gonna call all the reservists up first, and then all those folks who are already ready reserves, they're gonna go first, and then after that, there's a chance that when the need comes, that those who already have been added to the selective service may get drafted. And we're talking about like shit is hitting the fan. It's World War III, Russia and China, and those cats are dropping bombs on military. Installations type thing, right? So we're not talking just because a couple of skirmishes in Eastern European countries are happening type stuff. So yeah, stop worrying about that shit, man. Get back to work and go ahead and get that check. Yeah.
Hey, most of you motherfuckers, they don't want you anyway. Let's be clear. They would, so it would have to be apocalypse. All right,
Yeah.
so chill.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with that is, if you don't know, 1%, like the 1% is what the military is, man. And I'm not saying like the 1% like we the cream of the crop. I mean, like 1% of people are qualified because they don't have felonies. They can meet specific, height and weight standards, right? That's just all really just genetics and a little bit of your family tree being sprung to you, and nothing else, right? And people that commit felonies and stuff like that, they got waivers for that too, and it's still maybe 1.5% of the community who can actually serve legitimately. So no big deal here, man. Nothing to see here, basically.
To be clear, what happened was you were already obligated to sign up or register with the selective
Yes.
service. You were.
Absolutely.
They didn't enforce it, but now
Yes.
they're just going to automatically do it instead of you going and doing it online or whatever. So they just made it automatic. All right, just
Yeah.
to clear that up. And it's
Yeah.
not automatically drafted, it's automatic selective service between 18 to 26.
Right.
All right. So the U.S. House of Representatives last Friday passed a measure within the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, that would automatically enroll men 18 to 26 with the selective service system. The federal agency documents all people registered for selective service, many mandatorily. The agency would provide this information to the Defense Department in case of a draft, although one is not currently in place. You are not being drafted. All right.
Yeah. But
So
see,
it hasn't been instituted in country since 1973. Go ahead. What were you saying?
what I was just to follow on to that, man. And I mean, you can attest to this. In a lot of other countries, you got to do every male ages 18, let's say it's 22. I don't know the exact age for every country, but most countries it's mandatory that you do a tour, right? And that's because what you got going on as far as coming up as maturing and stuff. A couple of years in the service is not going to do you no bad. It's going to give you some tools that you probably wouldn't have even thought about, and a little sprinkle in a little discipline. The authority thing, like you said, like that's not for everybody, right? To be listening to people to screaming at them in boot camp and all that stuff, but get a little taste and you can be like, okay, I did my 2 or 3 years, and okay, now I'm ready to hit the world, or I can make a career out of this, right? Of course, the countries that do that, they have a very smaller population, so you know how that goes. But us here, we have, of course, more choices when it comes to serving in the military or just being a part of the civilian population and whatnot. So
Okay. So if you identify as, I don't know about the rules on that, but if you are a cisgendered woman, you are currently not even being asked to enter the selective service system. Right now, Congress is talking about it. They haven't passed any bills. It's in consideration. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. Now, if you identify as one, that's a whole different story. I know it's Pride Month, but I ain't got the answer for you.
That's crazy. I mean, the day we live in is crazy, man. I remember, bro. I remember when we first checked into our first ship. I had really not experienced the LGBTQ community, for real. Like coming up in my where I'm from. So I get to the ship, and then you walk through the mess decks. It's just like, okay. Like they clicked up. Like that community rolled deep. They rolled tight. It's like 40 of them, 50 of them on the mess decks. And I'm just like, is that a girl or a boy? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just being serious. Like, and then it was wild. It was an eye-opening experience coming into the military, and you just see the group of folks that you really don't see from, where you from and shit. So
Hmm. I think that was one of the best experiences for me to get outside of where I was from. Because coming from a small island, you don't get to experience other cultures like that, obviously. So I think for me, my time in the Navy was basically like my coming of age story. Yes, there were bombs, but it was good. It was good for me. I needed it. Like you said, the different responsibilities, and it introduced me to bills, and it introduced me to those things in a way to which you couldn't necessarily fail. Because one thing the military is going to do, they're going to feed, clothe you, and give you a place to stay. So
absolutely.
that was good for me. So no, this is not a commercial for recruiting to the military. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I'm just saying my experience. Now,
Yeah.
you had mentioned the LGBTQ thing, right? I don't know how deep you want to go into it because your career might be at risk. But
I'm
so,
good, man. I'm good. I'm good.
uh, so what do you think that women should be included in the selective service thing? And how do you feel about the LGBT? Do you identify as a woman? What should even be done there?
Well, first off, a lot of people that I trust with my life are women, right? Some of the best people, I'm talking about hardest workers, top notch folks, character, integrity type folks. It's the women, right? I can't really explain it, or I can't really put the words how I feel about it. But a lot of the women that I've come to call like really close friends are those folks that I would trust over a lot of dudes. Man, it's really hard to explain how or why, but I feel like a lot of the women I work with are those type of character type folks. But when it comes to the selective service, of course, right? Everybody get a piece, right? Why would you want to put men and women in different categories when it comes to serving your country? When it's time to go to war, and the bad guys start shooting, they're not gonna give a shit what we identify as man, woman, goddamn plant, got tree. They don't care. They're gonna try to wipe us out, and we need everybody on deck, right? Because whatever old Jimmy can't do, Janae might be able to do better when it comes to doing some type of cybersecurity stuff or even some manual shit that some dudes can't do. So yeah, equal opportunity for sure, man. Everybody get a piece. You know what I'm saying?
Crystal Thomas, Crystal Thompson liked that answer. She said that was a good answer.
Oh yeah,
Inclusivity.
absolutely.
And she
Everybody,
also wants to know, why did you choose to join the military?
man. Listen, I was probably the easiest recruit in naval history. I don't have a reason. I was just walking down the fucking hallway in high school. Recruiter walk up on me. He was like, "Hey, you want to join the Navy?" I was like, "Cool, let's do it." Like he was shocked. He was like, "Damn!" Like the next day, I was signing the paperwork. I was 17, so my mom had to come with me. So I went home. I said, "Hey, mom, I'm gonna join the Navy." She was like, "Where do I sign?" The next day, I was in the office, signed up in the DEP program, shipped off right after high school. Like I didn't
Uh,
think twice. Like I really like I literally lived day to day. I was just like, "Yeah, okay, cool. Sound like a good idea to me. Let's do it." And then 23 years later, still in this thing, man.
Still there.
So I know I
That's
was
what's up.
supposed. It was. I know somebody was probably looking for like this prestigious answer and shit, but nah. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, sound. That's why everybody be like, hey, man, just shoot your shot. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You looking for that young lady, and you've been thinking about hitting that DM up. Shit, you never know. Go ahead, shoot your shot, baby. Just never know. You know what I'm saying?
You might catch him on a bad day.
Hey, you just never know. On the rebound, you know what I'm saying? Depressed and shit. Well,
Exactly.
that's not good. That's not good. I don't want to go that path, but you know what I mean. That's not good. That's
Oh
terrible.
man,
That's terrible. But you know what I mean. Yeah. Just shoot your
I
shot,
got
bro.
you. Go for it. All right. Now, back to the selective service system. In case you're wondering, yes, there are consequences if you dodge it. Again, they don't enforce it, but just so you can't say saying different said. Failure to register is a felony, and non-registrants may be denied the following benefits for life:
Oh my God.
state-based student loans and grant programs in 31 states, federal job training under the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and many state and local jobs. So, yes, there are consequences that can affect your life potentially if you try to dodge registering, and it's even worse if you try to dodge a draft. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm reading a little bit extra. It says people will be randomly selected by a sequence determined by random lottery number or year of birth from that
Oof.
selective service group of folks, right? And then you can imagine if it's like, okay, let's just say it's 1,000 people from your
Hmm.
country, not your country, but from the VI selected, right? They're gonna be like, well, goddamn, it's only 1,000 folks and 500 come from the VI. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Randomized,
Something
goddamn
going
it.
on.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can imagine how that would look, right? So that's how that usually go.
So in all, I want to say just before we get off that topic, fear not. You're gonna be you're gonna be registered, but probably fear not, because
No,
by the time some shit happen that you even considering, hey, I might get drafted, I don't think you'll care by then. You get what I'm saying? Like
no,
for some shit to go down, it have to be very serious. All right.
no.
If you do, make your family proud.
I just hope it don't get to that point. Hopefully, us folks on active duty can hold it down. You know what I'm saying? To where we ain't got to call.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Go
hopefully we
Navy
do.
or Air Force. It's safer.
Big facts. 4 meals a day. AC. I'm
You
loving
said
it.
four.
You know the
What
mid
y'all get
rats. You know how
snacks
that
out
mid
there
rats.
now?
You know how that mid rats go. Them leftover boiled hot dogs and mystery meat. You know how that
Damn.
shit go. You got the
Okay,
night
true,
watch.
true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hard days out there,
And
man. With that mid rats.
one of our hobbies when we were in, I know he's still in, but we're not gonna say he's still doing it, was chasing women, right? Because when you're out to sea on a floating city, what else are you gonna do?
Oh
Now you know who else is good at chasing women? Chris Brown.
man.
They even pay his ass just to get hugged by him. So
That's
that's a
crazy.
trending topic right now. So we want to touch on that. And this shit is lame as fuck to me. I'm gonna be honest. Like this is like reverse simping to me. Paying
Mm.
$1,100 just to have Chris Brown touch you, hug you in a picture. But
Yeah,
then y'all used to get mad at homeboy back in school who was like, "Hey, where my hug at?" Y'all still
yeah.
mad at him, and you
Oh, I'm gonna get
paid
that
for it
hug.
now.
I'm gonna get
But
that
now they
hug,
paying for it, bro.
bro. It's Chris Brown. So think about it like this: Who is there
Ah,
anybody? Is there anybody on planet Earth that you will pay $1,100 to have a meet and greet and then take a photo with? Anybody? Is there
nope,
anybody? No,
nope.
man.
Nobody. I don't get. Not Obama.
Oh, not
Not
Obama.
Meg the Stallion. Not
Mm,
listen.
mm.
Nobody to get a hug and a photo op. Them things supposed to be free.
Yeah, they should be, but you know how the game go. I'm just saying, I like. Is that all they get for 1,100? They don't get like a lunch or nothing, like
Not,
lunchable, nothing.
not
They don't get
from what
shit.
I understand. Not
Damn,
from
man,
what I understand.
they don't get
Listen,
a
if
snack.
Denzel Washington ain't charging $1,100, why are you doing it for Chris Brown?
I mean, it's different. It's different times, man. Because Chris Breezy, I mean, people might not like this comparison, man, but he the new age of MJ, man. You know,
Is
he
he?
that guy.
Can he just
He
come
that
out on
guy.
stage, stand up, and people pass out? Does that
Yeah,
happen?
yeah. Imagine,
Don't lie to me.
everybody got their damn phone out, so ain't nobody passing out because they ain't watching the show, watching
Exactly.
their phone. That's stupid. That's the dumbest shit.
Exactly.
I hate when people go to the concert and watch the whole thing from their phone. Anyway, but think about it like,
That's
but think
that
about it
old
like,
man.
yeah, I'm the old grumpy guy. Get the phone out the fucking way, man. I'm trying to watch the show. You got this motherfucker stand there for 3 hours like this,
Yeah,
holding the phone
with
up.
the flash
That's
on.
stupid. I hate that. Anyway. Think about it like this though. Imagine
Hmm.
Michael Jackson would charge 1,100 for a meet and greet afterwards. You don't think like all those people who love him wouldn't pay that times they probably pay 10 grand to get a photo art with him. I think he actually underselling it. He probably can get a couple extra grand out of this. You know what I'm saying?
I
Just
just,
because of
I
who he
just
is.
don't, I just don't see Chris Brown as the new MJ. I don't know. Like MJ's, even his music videos were movies for real. I guess I just hold him to a higher standard. To do it for Chris Brown, the same guy you were mad at for beating on Rihanna, now
Yeah.
you want him to lift you up in a, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just very weird to me. First of
Yeah.
all, again, I
Mm.
would never pay $1,100, and it's not just women because this shit is happening,
That's wild. Hey, he might identify as a woman. You just never know, bro. Like,
bruh. First of all, if I pay you $1,100, get the fucking pose right. You feel me? Like at least do it right. You gotta copy me. It gotta be perfect. That fusion
uh,
need to work. The fuck?
Chris Brown got Megan Thee Stallion knees, low key. So I don't think he can bend his knees like that. You know, Chris Breezy, that's a flexible light skinned dude, dog. You know,
He be
Megan
doing
Thee
some shit on the stage though. Pause.
yeah, yeah. Chris Breezy is a different breed, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't think like think about it like this. Would you expect the same amount to come from somebody wanting to take a photo out with Drake? Like those guys are on the same type of level. I think people paying that just because they love these folks, man. Like I don't see the problem with it because look, people say the same thing when I buy some shoes that cost $1,000, right? Because I ain't gonna never wear them
Okay.
motherfuckers maybe once, and I'm gonna put them in a
Hmm.
box. And I ain't gonna never see them again, right? And people call me stupid for that, and I'd be like, "You crazy? Like I love these motherfucking shoes." You know what I'm saying? So my point is, everybody got their vices that they gonna spend their money on that somebody
Okay.
gonna call stupid. You know what I'm saying? So letting them people
I
be.
think that I think the motto here is I need to make more money. That's what the
Oh
fucking
yeah,
problem might be. I
yeah.
need to
That's
get
what
my
and
money
that's
up.
what I was thinking. Like when old girl who got dumped by her boyfriend, she was like, "I stand my
Hmm.
man. I did it with my shit." I'm like, if that was me, I'm like, shit. As long as you ain't goddamn hitting, asking me for the funds to go take pictures with Chris Breezy, cause ain't no way. You know what
This
I'm saying?
this nigga is lying. You telling MJ Label was paying for fainting act? All right, now, come
I
on,
don't
man.
know. I don't know.
In
MJ
Germany,
fans was diehard, man. They were diehard fans out there, man.
how old are you? How old are you in the comment? Cause, dude, I don't even think labels thought about that stuff back in 1996. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Fake people pass.
what?
I don't know. They did have Millie Vanilli. They did have them cats out there lip singing in the '90s. I don't know. They
But
might have
now
been.
they lip syncing and becoming famous on TikTok. So, I
That is
mean, the
true.
times are different.
That's true.
Hey, I might be hating a little bit. He might be the man. I mean, but I'm not paying $1,100 to get
What
a
would you
picture.
pay?
I just feel like
What
it's
would you pay? What would you
who.
pay to get a picture with Rihanna? Would you pay anything?
I'm
Is
not
there a
paying
minimum?
shit. I'm not paying nobody shit. I'm your fan. I'm showing appreciation to you. You want me to pay you after I done bought your CD and supported your shit
And
and
pay for
made
the
you
concert
fuck
tickets.
that. Fuck
Yeah.
that. So I don't pay for all this stuff to support you because I love you. Now you want me to pay to be next to you? You get the fuck on.
Oh
You
man.
crazy. You
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, I get. I mean,
I'm
listen.
sorry.
I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't do it. Not for Chris Breezy anyway. But I can say
Who
I
would
can
you do
say
it for?
Janae Aiko. I would probably pay. I would probably pay the money to
Okay.
get in the photo and get me a hug. I need one of those back hugs too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need a couple hugs. Like, I need the side joint. I need the cheek to cheek. You know what I'm
You
saying?
see, now you asking for multiple poses and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Nah,
yeah, yeah.
nah,
For
nah.
1100. Oh man, yeah.
That
I
seems
gotta
like
have.
a bit much.
Oh no. No, if I get the experience I'm looking for because of what I pay for, yeah. Like I would pay the money. Like Janae Aiko, and that's probably it. That's probably like that's my one. I would be like, yeah,
That's a top
I'm
notch.
doing this.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that would be a lifetime experience for me. Yeah, I gotta have this for
I
life.
respect it.
Yeah, man.
That's wild.
But that's it. Nobody
Who?
else.
Nobody else. All right. Who you think broke up more happy homes, Chris Brown or Usher?
Man, that's wild. I don't. I don't know, man. They probably like one A and one B, man. Both of them boys, they just dancing and singing in your girl ear and shit. You remember the Boondocks episode when Usher showed up? You know what I'm saying, to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
restaurant and stole Tom wife and shit. Like Sarah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I think okay.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
if Chris Brown, right, is the MJ of this generation,
Mm.
then what does that make Usher?
I don't know. He probably like this is not a good comparison, but just because they was tit for tat in their time, so don't kill me for this. But Prince, and I'm just saying, just the comparison between Mike and
Okay,
Prince in
okay,
their time. Not to say that Usher is
okay.
anywhere near the same level of artistry, right? But I'm just saying, like, because Prince and MJ, they was in their time, they was like Kobe and Mike. You know what I'm saying? LeBron
I get what
and
you're
Mike
saying.
conversation. You can tell one of them cats that they weren't the greatest of their time. You know what I'm saying? And then they both had their loyal fans and followers of people who would be like, no, it's Mike, no, it's Prince, right? Because right now, Chris Brown a little bit younger, but both of them, if you put both of them cats on the stage, like they used to do the verses, 20 for 20, them hits. Like both of
Yeah,
them boys,
yeah.
like they'll be going back and forth, back and forth. You'd be like, oh shit, like yeah. So I think
We need
that's
to understand, right? I don't think people understand the fact that they're still relevant
oh
because Chris Brown is from our era.
yeah.
Usher is older than him, and he's been doing it longer.
Yeah. Chris Brown. I remember when he had the Caesar fade. He was out there dancing with the baggy jeans and the tie-dye t-shirts on
Yeah,
106. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying
they've been
though.
around
Like,
for a minute.
hey yo, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was doing that little dance in my barracks room and shit.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Hey, I was like, this little dancing motherfucker, boy, he
He does
fire.
his thing. Yeah.
I'll be watching his
No.
videos and I'll be like, this motherfucker can dance,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, yeah.
Damn.
He
And
danced
he
right
got
up to
that
that
shit
girl
was
talking about, "Hey, yo."
effortless. On his knees, crawling and shit. Like, bro, like, how can I compete with this? Like, I got no shot.
Well,
I got no
clearly we can't. It's
uh,
2024 and we still can't. This nigga getting paid to
uh,
take pictures.
he's getting paid to take a picture with your girl, bro. That's wild. Think when you
Mm,
think about it,
mm.
that's
In the
diabolical.
wildest positions you
Yeah,
could
he
take a
bending them
picture.
over, grabbing their necks, and I'm just like, man, she won't even let me do that. Like, damn, bro, that's crazy work.
Wow.
I just asked her to let me spit in the mouth a little bit. She was like, no.
Mm-mm.
Goddamn Chris
Yeah, that's
Brown
too much.
bent over and shit. Like, come on,
But you know
bro.
he'll get it though for
Oh,
free.
absolutely.
God damn.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, she'll pay him to do it. Like, that's crazy.
Mm. Yeah, you see, the more we talk, the more disrespectful it becomes. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're listening. Because now maybe you might understand why them guys that seen them pictures go viral, they like, nah,
Yeah.
we can't even do this. They making
Yeah.
it seem like he smashed just from them pictures. No, just think about it, man. You spent rent money for that picture.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Anyway, so Usher more pop or R&B? What do you think on that one?
I mean, the lines are so blurred these days, man. Like, I don't know the difference between pop and R&B anymore. Like, I couldn't tell you because it seems like all R&B is pop now. Because you got your trap soul, like cats like what's the cat that be Bryson Tiller? Like I call him like
Yeah,
trap
yeah,
soul R and
yeah.
B,
For
and then you
correct.
got your R&B, and then you got your rappers who are R&B singers. Like it's so many levels to it that it all kind of just blend together. They just need to make a new genre at this point. I don't even know what to call it, like because Usher, he's all over the place. I don't know.
I'm a judge Usher based off his albums. His albums are clearly R&B, so I would say that he's R&B. He's versatile because he goes, you know what I'm saying? Like he could do pop and R&B
He,
songs, but
right?
his albums, like Confessions and you know what I'm saying? Those are
Yeah,
R&B albums.
yeah. But he's got pop songs like the song he got with the
Yeah,
Black Eyed Peas dude. Like so I mean, he crosses back and forth because a lot of his hits would be considered pop, but a lot of
of
his
course.
like his day one fans know that his real genre is R&B because he got to swing that line back and forth to ensure
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he keeps those pop quote unquote pop fans. When I say pop fans, I mean Caucasians and Europeans in his back pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But
right.
then
We
he
knew
gotta
what you meant, bro.
yeah. And he gotta bring the home team back with the
Of
confessions and
course.
the drama and the other shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So you know how I go. I ain't mad at him. So
Yeah, I ain't mad at him. But definitely his biggest hits in my I don't know the numbers, but his biggest hits are like the Nice and Slow. You know what I'm saying? Make Me Wanna and stuff like that, which are clearly R&B songs. So
yeah,
I'm a rock with R&B.
I can go with that. I feel that.
Tanisha said, shit, he probably did to some of them. He absolutely did
Absolutely,
smash some of them girls.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Come on. Those girls out there is throwing that thing around like doorknob. Everybody getting a turn on these things, man. These cats get so much poontang, man. Like you couldn't imagine how much coochie is getting thrown at these cats, man. I can tell you just from being in the military and being an officer and seeing some
Hmm.
of the things that some dudes are doing, or some of the ladies are enticing some of the gentlemen with, and just
Hmm.
the gym pop. When I say gym pop, I mean regular dudes. I can imagine if they was
Gen
rich and
Pop.
famous, like
That's wild. You call them
yeah,
Gen Pop like they in jail?
no, like I mean, let's be honest here. Being on that deployment is prison, dog. I mean, sorry to circle back to the Navy shit.
Okay. Okay.
That shit is like jail, and we could talk about that later. But I mean, the general population dudes out there, they throwing coochie at them. Imagine if these cats was rich and famous. Like, come on,
Of
I
course.
can imagine. I couldn't imagine, dog.
But I think that's what make it crazier to me. You just greedy. Like, okay, so I ain't mad at it, but you already getting it thrown at you. Now you
um,
charging them and they're paying for it, and I'm like, yeah, I would end my relationship to pay you to take this picture 100 times. That's insane to me.
well, I don't think she understood that that was going to be the consequence of her taking that picture and it going viral. Now, if you give her the option to say, "Hey," well, actually, I take that back. As I read her comment, she was like, "I would do it to 100 more boyfriends after that if I had to get this picture." That's what she said. That's her quote, bro. I didn't make that up. She literally quoted
Oh
like,
my god.
"I have no regrets, and if I had to do this again, I would do it and break up with 100 more boyfriends to get this picture." And that's what she said, dog. I was just like, "Oh, well, damn." So
And the
she,
dude came back. There's his video. He came out and he said that oh, you don't need me. So he claims that she moved into his house, right?
damn.
And he signed on her car for her.
Oh,
He co-signed.
oh,
So
no,
this
no.
must be where she had that extra money from. You get what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? So it
Well,
may
she
have
had
been
no
her
choice.
money, like she said, but
Well, I guess I don't know. Yeah, when you're in a relationship, the money is like you can say, yeah, 50-50 or whatever the fuck, but when anything go out of the house and it's not agreed upon, it's gonna be some questions getting,
thank
tossed
you.
around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So
Thank
you
you.
can have those 50-50 debates if you want to. And the dude can pay for everything, car, house, food. But when you go out there and you spend something on another dude, yeah, I don't think that's acceptable either. So you know how that goes. That's
Okay. Thank you for putting that in perspective, sir. I appreciate that.
Man, we gotta chill out with the shirt stuff.
No, that's habit. That ain't out of respect.
Oh, that made me
That's just
feel
a
better
habit.
and worse at the same time. The real
My
Dougie, he
bad.
coming back out. Oh man, I gotta hit up. I
Yeah, he's
gotta hit
still
up
in it.
Sean Graves, man. I gotta get. Oh, he would be going crazy right
He
now.
don't probably still cuss me out.
Yeah, I meant to hit him up today and tell him I was gonna be on here so he can pop in and shit. But I fucking forgot, man. He all over the world. I don't know what. I think he in DC right now. But yeah.
We got one other topic because I know you're a big sports guy. You're big on it. I'm not as big, but this had me wondering. Like what did they think they were signing up for? I'm not into sports like that, but I know Marshawn Lynch is a wild guy. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the why I'm here guy. But okay, so I'm gonna run this clip and then we're gonna get into it.
All right.
No, my son's in jail. It's not okay. I didn't say that. Maybe you should just let him know because they're all in here.
Is there a man here with you?
No.
Okay, I do. I cuss a lot. I cuss in front of them. So look, I cuss a lot.
Every one of them's
all right, that's okay.
No, my son's in jail. It's not okay.
Is there a man here with you?
No, I'm here.
Is not a man here with you?
But I'm here. What does that matter?
Because
My son is leaving. I don't care. It's my son.
So tell them
It's not here too. They all
but I'll tell them that if they're not doing what they need to do, then yes, there's consequences to that.
Yeah.
If it takes that amount of time for when I tell a kid to do something and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, then there is consequences, like push-ups, like running laps,
like telling them to get away from your drill.
like telling them to get out of my drill if they're not participating,
Get
doing right, get out of my drill, get the out of my drill, or whatever it takes to get my drill.
First, what if could you imagine if you went to watch the practice, right? And you're the guy and she comes and get you and he's like, hey, and it's like, yes, Mr. Lynch. Like he coming to you, he want to talk to you now because they over there tripping.
Oh man. I mean, hey, I ain't scared, but I'm gonna hold my own, goddamn. I'm gonna hold my own, goddamn. I might have to take it. Yeah, I might have to take the. Yeah, like if that's your wife coming to you, I'm like, hey, Marshawn over there talking shit to me. I need you to go handle that. He asking for you. And just be like, oh man, I gotta hold my shit together.
I know, right? You might not even be mad about the shit.
I'm like, man, I respect you, Marshawn, dog. Hey, can I get an autograph?
She be tripping. You know how they act, man. Come on, we good.
Man. We good, dog. Go ahead, do your thing. Dog. You know what I'm saying? Do you need a little extra for the registration fee?
I think he needs some more padding in his helmet or so.
Yeah. Man, she just be tripping, dog. He a mama's boy and shit. So but yeah, I mean, playing football is. It's probably one of the, manliest man things that, young kids gonna do at that age. And not knowing how Marshawn Lynch interacts with people and his personality and the things that he's done throughout his professional career, how he was brought up and where he's from, and taking your kid to his camp, expecting him to be a saint is just not smart. Like, this dude has done some of the wildest things we have ever seen on a professional level on a football field. And a lot of the stuff, you probably, as a parent, you probably would not, encourage your kids to do. But the man has so much respect and credibility on the field and off the field because, he from the streets and he don't seen a lot of shit, been through a lot of shit and overcame all that. And he rich as fuck. So on top of that, he's made a good life for himself just being himself. So that's one of the things that I would hope that the parents expected the kids to get from him at that camp is, hey, you can be yourself, right? And you can be a little bit harder on me because of what you've gained in the realm of respect and credibility in your craft. So that's what I was thinking when I was watching the clip. I don't think he went too far at all. I think he did what was supposed to be done out there on the football field to motivate those kids to do better.
You've played football and stuff. Aren't the coaches like worse? Don't they get worse the older you get?
I mean, it depends, right? It's just like so. I kind of resort to comparing everything I see to the military or to a sports analogy, like one and the same. So, I mean, as somebody in that position, I think of him as a leader, regardless of what the profession is, right? So he's a leader of young men and other coaches out there. And you got three types of leaders in any situation. You got the alpha personality, the person who's gonna yell, scream, and curse, right? You got the tree hugger. I like to call them tree huggers, right? The one who's gonna coddle everybody and make them feel good. The participation trophy motherfucking shit. Like you got those, right? And then you got the analytical motherfuckers, right? The people who just gonna think, and analyze and crunch numbers and gather data and make a decision strictly based off of the analytical data, right? And it's very clear that Marshawn Lynch is the alpha personality type leader, right? And again, the parents probably didn't do their homework and research to understand that there's a possibility you're gonna hear some shit that you wouldn't expect to hear at a Peyton Manning football camp, right? Or a Tom Brady football camp, because that's just not the type of leaders they
True,
are, right? Those not the type of
true.
men they are. So when you take your kid to that camp and you don't understand, the quality of leader that you're getting or the type of personality you're getting, it's going to be a bad day for you, as those parents found out. So, yeah.
Now, the video, it labels them as Karens, and this is one time that I don't think this was really necessarily Karen behavior, as
No.
opposed to it being like helicopter parent, that type of thing, like coddling. That's
Mm,
that's my issue with it. And Marshawn, he made a very good point of, do you have any men with you? Is there
right.
a man here that I could talk to? Because I I could only assume. I don't know what that man's thinking. But the way that he went about it, it seems as if he was trying to find a man to logic out the rest of this. Like,
Yeah.
to talk things through, because they were already at a level, and it's like he know he can't get to them where they
Right.
were. So how do you try to explain to parents that are already on 10, like, hey, this is what it is, this is why I do that. This is hell, this is how I was trained. Look at me.
Yeah. That's a really tough situation to be in. And again, I fall back to my military experience, because when you're dealing with people in the military and they in that same situation to where you're chewing their ass, right? They don't fucked up, right? You chewing their ass. And then they buck back at you, right? Because they feel like they're a grown ass motherfucker and you can't talk to them. You can't fucking fix them the way that you're fixing them. And then in that situation, you have to be able to make a 1 second, 2 second determination on how you want to do it. Do you want to extinguish this fire, or do you want to keep the fire burning, right? And get into more fucking drama and pettiness, right? Because we can do that. And Marshawn Lynch could have did that. But what he did was try his best, right, to, put out the flame by explaining very eloquently for the Marshawn Lynch standard that, hey, I don't mean no disrespect. I talk to these kids like this to motivate them, and I don't think you can understand that. So I would like to talk to any other gentleman that you may have came with, right? And then the mother, right? That's a double-edged sword, because disrespect to the ladies, right? But anytime you tell a woman, can I speak to a man, they automatically, that's defense mechanism 101. The red flags are going up in their head and they automatically feel disrespected. And I'm not a woman, so I can't speak to, how they should, handle that situation. But in my mind, as a man, I need to speak to another man, because one, if it gets to an altercation and you hit me, I'm gonna automatically lose. It's a lose-lose situation for me, right? But if I'm having a disagreement or argument or just a simple conversation with another man, I feel like anything that we talk to about that point is man to man, and we on even terms, right? When it comes to any type of hostilities that may occur. So that's what, because when you're talking to a woman in that situation, you're gonna lose. Like, that's just the way it is, and that's what I feel like he felt like. I'm gonna lose this situation regardless of what I do and say. So if I talk to another man one, maybe he can logic this with me, and two, if it gets to the point where it's just a disagreement, we can disagree man to man, and if something happens, I'm not gonna be on film like having a disagreement with a woman when I'm a 6'3", 240 former football player, because then I'm look
Yeah.
like the asshole regardless. So that's what I think his mindset was at. And with the coddling and shit, like that shit is terrible. That shit is awful because these men is eventually gonna go into the world. Like regardless of how how much they crying on the football field, mommy not always gonna be there to pick them up and take them home from after school camp with Marshawn Lynch. Like, what's gonna happen when they out there in the real world and somebody out there, giving them a hard time? Are they gonna fucking go home and cry to mommy, or are they gonna fucking stand on business and go out there and be like, hey, look, motherfucker, you got one more time, right? And
Facts.
I'm not a proponent for violence, but sometimes you just got to stand your ground, right? And it is what it is when it comes to that type of stuff, man. So,
I totally agree with you. The one thing that I would say, I understand why hearing when you have a concern and you bring it to someone, I understand why they would hear like, do you have a man with you? And
oh yeah,
Marshawn Lynch
flag.
is
Oh,
not
shit.
known for like his couth or watching his words. Like
No,
we
not
know
at
that.
all. But he did in
So
the
he did. However, saying something like that sounds like, let me speak to your manager. You know what I
well,
mean? Like,
but you know who else did that? I don't know if you remember. It was a very similar clip with Cam Newton. Cam Newton had a real similar situation, and he did the same thing. He was like, "Is there a man here with you?" Right? And I believe that these, these professional athletes in general, when they do these camps, and these parents come up to them because they disagree with something that's going on, they quick to throw the camera in their face because they looking for one or two things, right? They looking to embarrass that athlete and show everybody they normal human beings, and two, they looking for a payday.
true.
If something happens to where they knock the camera out of their hand, oh, that's assault. I'm gonna sue you for $10 million
Yeah,
because you knocked this phone out of my hand, right? So, like I said, either way it goes, he would have lost, right? So that's
he would
why
have
he was
lost.
going to talk to a man. You know what I'm saying? So,
I get you. Hey, this been a great episode, man. Thanks for coming through. Can't
oh
wait
yeah.
to be on the one MC.
Oh yeah, man. The one MC band, we coming, man. A big shout out to the same difference crew. I've been seeing you do your thing, man. Y'all been rocking for a big minute now, man. And anytime I can support, share, like, subscribe to all the socials, man. I'm there to support, man, and I can't wait to have you on the show so we can
Appreciate it.
talk a little bit more Navy, because on my show we talking Navy a little bit, but more of the lifestyle in the Navy. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be a
Okay.
great conversation to relive some of them sea stories. I tell a really specific sea story about you all the time.
Oh man.
I don't know if you remember this shit. Let me see if you remember this shit. I'm just gonna give it to you on your podcast because this is fucking hilarious, bro. So when we first got to the ship, bro, I don't know if you remember this shit. Tell me if you remember this. We log onto the computers. We get our access to the computers and shit. And as you know, there's a classified network and an unclassified network, right? I think you assume that the classified network, where all the secret and top secret shit going to, it was a chat room in there, right? And it was a chat room in there, and this is when America Online was like really big, right? And I don't know if you remember that there was a little I can't even think of the not an acronym, but it was a message type. I can't even think of the right phrase for it, but if you remember age, sex, location, right? You remember this shit?
ASL.
ASL, right? Age, sex, location.
Yeah,
When you was trying to
yeah,
holler at somebody on the computer back in the early 2000s, you would be like, "Hey, what's up?" And they respond. You would put A/S/L, age, sex, location, right? So, Dougie, the player he is, he's logging on to the secret classified network, right? And he's in the chat room talking to somebody, and he just I look up on the screen and all I see is age, sex, location. I say, "Hey, Doug." I said, I think that's the secret network, bro. Are you talking to a chick on the secret network asking for age, sex, location? I was like, bro, I don't think you're supposed to do that. He was like, what? Do you
Oh man, I do not remember that. Thankfully, now that shit gonna be a core memory.
Bro, I tell that sea story all the time to young sailors.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
get on the shipper chat and do this shit that I saw my boy do back in 2002, bro. He hopped on the zipper net our first week on the sea
Oh
was like
shit.
A-sex location to somebody in the chat room.
Trying to link up. Oh
Bro,
man.
wild
No, I don't
times.
remember that.
Wild times,
Yeah,
bro. I
we
think I
gonna
told
have
you.
to link up at your show. So
All right, man.
talk
Yeah,
about that stuff, man.
yeah,
Hey,
but you
can
can
you tell the people your socials, how they can reach you and stuff, man?
yeah, so my IG is right there on my tag at the One MC Pod. That's the same on TikTok. We on Facebook. We got a Facebook group, the One MC Podcast. And we on all the socials too, YouTube, the One MC Podcast as well. And you can just hit me up on any one of those, man. We on Spotify as well under the One MC Podcast. So we got the visuals, we got the socials, we got the Spotify for our listeners. We all over. So if you want to hear some great ass sea stories about some sailors doing some grimy shit back in the day and live to see another day after doing them, hit us up on the One MC, man, and you get some great sea stories for some Navy veterans.
All right. Appreciate you coming through. What are your final words for the audience right now?
Hey, man, Dougie an angry motherfucker. So anytime y'all log into this bitch, listen, Dougie is an angry motherfucker. Anytime y'all come
I
onto this
used
show,
to be.
text me. No, it's still in there. We'll pull it out, man. No, man. But hey, listen, we both have grown a lot, man. I wish we can go back and see ourselves 23 years ago, man, and then peek into the future and see where we at now, man. Because I know we both came a long way. But
Hell yeah.
I'm just happy to be here still and doing this thing and happy to see you doing well. And then R.I.P. Jack, man. I know that was our
Yeah,
boy,
yeah.
man. So I'll close it out with that,
RIP.
man. R.I.P. Jack, man.
Thank you for that. As you can see, it was a class reunion for us. So we appreciate you guys tuning in and watching and tapping in with us tonight. And just keep an eye out for when I'm on his podcast. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe there. Also, check it out. See what you think about it. I know a lot of y'all may not be military or whatever, but you can enjoy the camaraderie and whatever else. Thanks for coming on, Keith. Appreciate you. It's nothing but love. Yes, we had our issues again, but that was then. We've all come a long way and a lot has changed.
Yeah.
A lot stay the same, but we're here. We're alive. Rest in peace, Gerard Jackson, for real. Thanks for coming through. Love you guys. That's Keith. I'm Ja. Same difference. We out.
Peace.